Hello everyone, my name is Jana and I'm a co-founder of Quantum Manifestation Academy for Women, where we help girls to transform their life in the fastest way possible so they can get results like this and like that. And today I'm going to share the biggest secret with you on how to transform your life 180 in the shortest period of time ever. So be ready, have some tea or coffee, whatever, and take some notes because this masterclass is going to change your life forever. And if you stay till the end, you're gonna get a little present from us as well. So let's begin. First, let's start with what does not impact how fast your reality will shift and what you will get in this life. First, affirmation, be working super hard. 3 super woo-woo tricks for hoping, waiting, dreaming. The next one is gonna be overacting on things, is also related to working super hard. Is when you're overachiever and when you think that if you're gonna be perfect, if you're gonna work 24/7, something will change. Well, it will not. And if you will look around, you will see if not 90% of people who work extremely hard, and some of them are even spiritual, but they're still poor and they're still not happy. So this is your proof. These are the things that do not change your life whatsoever, but can make you feel pretty miserable. And this is already the fact. So now, what actually shifts your reality like this? Two things. The first one is your identity and self-concept, and the second one, the cheat code that I'm going to share with you after. The only thing is the cheat code that I'm going to share with you after step number 1 will not work whatsoever if you don't do the first step. So this is how it works. In the quantum field, whatever we have, every single person who we attract, amount of money that we make, the type of business that we have, the clients that we have, the way we look, the way we feel, everything, it's simply the projection of our identity and our self-concept. In other words, whatever you have right now in your reality already been manifested by you, and whatever you will have tomorrow, whatever you will open your eyes to, it's also going to be manifested by you. So when people say, oh, I need to learn how to manifest, blah, bullshit. You're already doing it 24/7. The only thing that you have to learn how to do is how to shift your internal cassette that projects everything that you see. So we have to always start with our identity and with our self-concept. Because if your identity and your self-concept matches with what you desire, you don't really have to do anything in the reality. Imagine that you wanna do a stamp. You remember probably when you were a child, you had little stamps. I don't know about you, but I had. And let's say if you want to print a butterfly on your hand or on the paper. So in order for you to print the butterfly on a paper, you should have a little stamp with the ink that has a butterfly, right? So now let's say if you don't like butterflies anymore, if now you like dogs or cats, whatever that is, flowers, what do you need to do? Do you really need to look at your old stamp and be like, how can I fix that? What can I do with it? No, because it doesn't matter what you do, it's still not going to give you what you want right now. So what you would do, you would go to your parents and be like, hi mommy, hi daddy, I want to get a new stamp. I don't give a fuck about butterflies anymore. Now I want flowers. And then your parents bring you the little thingy, right? So the same thing works with the universe. If you want to shift anything in the reality, you have to shift what is given that blueprint in the reality right now. Because once again, whatever you see right now, doesn't matter which industry we're talking about, doesn't matter which aspect of life, it's 100% match with what you have within. And this is exactly what we do in the first 2 months in the academy. But girls start having crazy fast results in the first months actually, without literally changing anything in the external world whatsoever. We shift your identity first. We activate the version of you who already has everything that you want. Because let me tell you something, if you want something It only means that there is a version of you in the quantum field who's already experiencing that. You would never want anything that would not match with the identity that you have within, but a lot of times it's blocked. And this is exactly, once again, what we do. We remove in first 2 months, we remove these blocks from you. And let's say if you're not in academy, if you want to do it by yourself, that's okay. And I'm going to tell you right now what exactly to do to remove these blocks. And the first block that you have to get rid of, one of the most common one, is the feeling of guilt. Because subconsciously we experience a feeling of guilt about everything that we have in our life. Oh, I didn't achieve something. This is because I'm not good enough. Oh, something happened. That's because I was not smart enough about certain things. Oh, I did this happened, blah. And also a lot of times our parents, classmates, whoever we were dealing with before, they are the ones who put this feeling on us. And what happens in the quantum field? Every time when we experience the feeling of guilt, we live the blueprint of identity that is asking for a punishment, because everything should match. If I'm feeling guilty, it means that for me to deal with this feeling, I need to attract some punishment, so it could be confirmed in the universe. So this is number one thing. And sometimes when girls shift only this one thing, they already see crazy changes in their reality around money, around relationship, around their self-esteem, everything. The second thing is that we work with when it comes to identity is the feeling of resentment, because a lot of us hold subconscious grudges on our parents, on our friends, on people who we work with, on our previous relationship, everything. And what this feeling of resentment does is it steals your energy like this 24/7 without you realizing it, actually. And then it also impacts your income, because we all wake up with the same amount of energy every single day. However, we all subconsciously decide how to deposit this energy. Let's say everyone would wake up with 100K on their bank account, every single person, and then that's up to you. If you want to invest this 100K in a business, if you want to invest this 100K in your beauty, in something else. But in the reality, your brain, you actually don't decide consciously how to invest this energy. Your subconscious decides for you. So when you have these two things, feeling of guilt, feeling of resentment, your subconscious unconsciously decides to invest this energy into fears, into self-doubts, into blaming other people, into attracting some BS into your life, unless you remove that nonsense. And this is why a lot of woo tricks, a lot of practices don't work, simply because your core blueprint, your identity, don't have a capacity to do anything else, because all the energy, everything is already occupied by these two subconscious emotions, by these two subconscious feelings. Number three, another important thing that we work with is your self-esteem. And the reason why, because your self-esteem impacts so many areas of lives. Your relationship, it impacts who we attract, it impacts who we tolerate, it impacts how we look, it impacts what kind of businesses we create, it impacts how we show up on social media, in the world, everywhere. It literally impacts every single thing. And the only problem with self-esteem that 99% of people don't work with that, and they think that their self-esteem is actually self. No, majority of people have their esteem based on what other people told them about themselves. In other words, if you were raised by parents, or let's say if you were surrounded by people in your childhood or when you were in school who constantly told you that you're not enough, you're stupid, you have to do this, you have to work hard, you have to blah blah. Whatever adults around us tell us, we perceive it like a sponge. So, and then when we grow up, we already don't have our own opinion about ourselves. We already base everything based on what other people told us about ourselves. That's it. And unless you work with this, unless you remove that BS from your subconscious, because it's not even your opinion about you, you understand all the insecurities that you have. It's not because you were born like that. That's because other people put it on you. I promise you, as soon as you remove that shit, you don't even realize how many things in your life will already shift like this. Another point when it comes to your identity, because it not only consists of something that we have to get rid of, it also consists of something that we actually have to keep and we have to develop. And one of the major things is, how do I see myself in this world? What is my self-concept around everything in this life? Do I have a life purpose, or do I just go by the matrix rules and do whatever people say I have to do? We have the whole week dedicated just to that, dedicated to your self-purpose, dedicated to your self-esteem around your business and your job. Because a lot of girls actually, when they come to the academy, they have normal jobs. Some of them have 9 to 5, stuff like that. And then after just the first modules, I realized that I was actually never meant for 9 to 5. I was never meant for working on someone. I was ever meant for that. And they realized that the true purpose was about helping people, for example, about creating content, about creating business, about doing whatever they want to do. This is something that I also want to mention here when it comes to your identity and when it comes to the universe and money in general. You think right now a lot of times by what metrics told you to think. You think that, oh, for you to be successful, for you to be rich, you have to follow the pattern. You have to go to the school, you have to go to the university, get a bunch of debts, get a corporate job, work till 55, 60 years old, save for 1K. But show me at least one person who ever got rich by doing that nonsense. No one, literally no one. I've never seen anyone. And this is how society, this is how the matrix controls you. So when you find your true purpose, your true talent, when you're able to implement the authenticity law of the universe, and this is a law that says that with your own talents, with your own perspective, with your own thoughts, with your own whatever you have within you, you can help millions of people already. And it doesn't matter what that is, doesn't matter the industry, nobody gives a fuck about the economy, about anything. Your own talents can already shift lives of millions of people. So this is when you become the asset for the universe, and this is when you actually start making money doing what you like. And for us as women, it's essential because we don't strive in stress, we don't strive under pressure, we don't strive when we work extremely hard. So when we work with your identity, we also find this purpose, we also find what your soul actually wants to do. So before we start, step number 2, which is a cheat code on how to manifest anything fast, because we already spoke a little bit about identity, let's sum up. So the first thing is, identity is your blueprint that leaves a projection of everything that you see around you in the universe, starting with how you look, how you feel, how much money you make, what kind of relationship you have, what kind of business you have, what you do, where you live, your car, everything. Literally just a blueprint of your identity. And 3 major blocks that are stopping you from activating your highest identity, who already has everything that you want. So the universe and quantum field can actually deliver to you. This is the feeling of guilt, the feeling of resentment, low self-esteem, and not knowing your true purpose. So as soon as you activate these 4 things, your life will already shift even without doing step number 2. But if you do step number 2, your life will shift literally in the next 30 days. So now let's talk about the cheat code. We have the few steps on how you can manifest whatever fuck you want. So once again, the first step is activating your 2.0 identity, which once again we do for you in the first 2 months in the academy, or actually less, in Woman 2.0 module, or you can do it by yourself. So step number 1, you activate your next level identity. Step number 2, you have to create a clear vision on what you actually want. Because believe it or not, but majority of the people know for sure what they don't want to have in this life, Oh, I don't want to look fat, I don't want to be ugly, I don't want to have a shitty relationships, I don't want to this, I don't want to that. But I have no idea what I truly want. So their focus is all subconscious focus once again on some things that they don't want. And guess what? In the universe, there's few laws that we also have an academy explained, and one of them is the observer law. Actually, this is a quantum physics law. Whatever you observe with your subconscious mind, this is exactly what you're going to see in your reality. So if every single day you observe something that you don't enjoy, something that you don't like, and so on, this is something that is going to stay in your reality till you stop observing that shit. That's it. So step number 2 is to create a clear vision on what you truly want, with no limits, with no restrictions, without thinking, oh, how am I going to accomplish this, how that would happen. Because trust me, if you have an idea, if you have a dream, you have a thought, and if there is at least one person in the universe, and I'm sure there is at least one who already has it, it means that you able to have it too. And this is something that we also explain to you how to do it in one of our lessons, or you can do it by yourself too. Step number 2, when you already know what you want and when you're already in your 2.0 identity, this is when you can actually start to manifesting whatever hell you want fast. Because A, you already have a blueprint, which is your identity and your self-concept that is going to be projected in the universe, and B, you know what exactly you want to project, and you already know the secret on how to project that you want. So step number 3 is going to be about how to do it in the fastest way possible. Because listen, you don't want to wait your whole life to get something that you can get in 30 days or in 60 days. And trust me, the universe literally doesn't give a fuck what to give you: Lamborghini, G-Wagon, Honda, a penthouse in Miami, or a little apartment in Arizona. The universe literally doesn't give a fuck. It's all about your subconscious, and it's all about your self-concept and your identity. The same as time. Divine timing is a bullshit. You are the one who decide how long something is going to take. You are the one who decides what you need to do to get to something. The universe just says yes to whatever hell you want. If you decide that for you to make $1 million, you have to go through the fucking hell and work 70 hours a week, the universe is gonna be like, if you wanna do it. But that's not because the quantum field works like that, but because this is something that you decided, and you as a creator and everything else around you, you're just going to confirm it. So our goal in the next step is to speed up all your manifestations and everything that you want. And how we do it is by increasing our energy, so we can focus all the energy on something that we want so it can grow, versus focusing all our energy on some kind of shitty emotions or something that we don't like. And B, when we can align truly subconsciously with the next level version of us. And how we do it? We're doing it by regulating your nervous system on a daily basis. Is when you wake up happy and you go to bed happy, and every time when you get some shit, every time when you get triggered by something, you know how to regulate it. Because your emotions, the way you feel, it's also something that leaves the blueprint in the quantum field. That's why positive thinking is a bullshit. How many times I think negative, how many times I think fuck the shit, but I still manifest the best things. Why? Because of the way I feel, because I mastered that skill. And these are the practices that we also have for you inside of the academy, or you can find something on your own, of course, as well. So another thing here, how we can actually regulate our nervous system. How we do it: we have quantum meditations, we have certain music, we have body practices, and subconscious reprogramming practices that are dedicated to certain goals that you have. So let's say if you're manifesting money, we have a quantum meditation on how to shift you into the identity who has lots of money already. And these are results that our girls getting after being stuck for super long time, either being broke or making much less. Or let's say you can manifest weight loss, because a lot of girls start going into some crazy diets, starving themselves, go to the gym 24/7, but still don't see desired results. This is something that we do as well, because first of all, when you activate your highest identity, when you get rid of all these toxic feelings, your body drops a bunch of water, a bunch of waste automatically already. So, but then we also have, for example, certain quantum meditation that put you into the state. So every day when you wake up, when you're already activated in your highest identity, when you already know what you want, and then you also wake up and you already feel, after doing this practice, how you're going to feel when you see your desired result in 3D. And the more you do it, the less you start reacting to triggers. So this step is one of the essential steps that is going to speed up your manifestations, literally anything that you want like this. And once again, I'm not just saying it to say it. We have a proof, we have a results that this formula, this method that we have inside of the academy works 100%. It worked in my life, it worked in everyone's life who uses the same strategy, and it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter at what point of life you are. It doesn't matter how shitty things look for you right now. As long as you do these 3 steps, your whole reality can shift like this. Trust me. We're almost done here, and this is what I want to add. Another thing that I would recommend you to do while you're going through all this transition, through shifting your reality 180, and this is something that also will, is to do this few silly things that can actually help. Stop watching news, stop watching anything that makes you feel upset, anything that makes you feel scared, anything that makes you feel some negative emotions, because the more you put it in your subconscious, the more of that you manifest in your reality. The second step is get rid of constant communications with people who don't support your goals, who are negative, who are toxic, who are too much into the matrix rules. And the only exception here is obviously the family. We can never get rid of them. But everyone else, friends, everyone on social media, whoever, because these people also create a blueprint in your subconscious, and that you always become a person who you surround yourself with. And this is also another reason why we created Academy, and we also have a community. We have a group chat of girls with the same goals as you, with the same problems as you, who talk every single day, and we also respond there. So we have a vibe in our chat where girls every day when they wake up, they know that doesn't matter what's happening in my reality, I have a fucking support. I have somebody to reach out to. If I have a question, I know where to go. I'm not gonna go to those fucking losers who are not successful in life in the first place, and they're gonna advise me to drop my business, or they're gonna give me some shitty advices, they're gonna discourage me. No, I'm gonna go to my community. I'm gonna ask the question, I'm gonna get all the support, I'm gonna get all the inspiration, and that's it. Because what and who we're surrounded with, you don't even understand how much it shapes our reality. So I hope that you took some notes. I know that if you're watching this, you're meant for so much more than you have right now. And I know that everything for you will come through like this as soon as you implement this thing that I mentioned before. And as I promised, we have a little surprise for you. So if you decide to join our academy today, and if you use this promo code, you're gonna get a special discount. And if you have any questions, if you need any help, feel free to send us email or DM us on the Instagram. And have an amazing day. Sending you lots of love.